Parks and Recreation is the greatest series ever made. There can be no arguments or debate over this indisputable fact.
I still think awards are stupid, but they'd be less stupid if they went to the right people.
Or at least, Parks and Recreation Season 3 through Season 7 is the greatest series ever made, and the first 2 seasons are fine.
Settle in, because I have some very strong feelings about this.
Although they are infinitely more viewable as a Saturday Night Live sketch than a series as a whole. Luckily, the first 2 seasons aren't really necessary to the overall story of Parks and Rec, with Season 3 finally cementing the ensemble cast and providing a handy recap for what you might have missed.
Meet Leslie Knope.
I'm the Pants Queen!
However, this is not a video about the best way to view this amazing series. Although, in my opinion, this is how you should view it. This is about how Parks and Recreation Season 7 provides some of the best and simplest examples of the Panopticon and the way it functions in society. Starting from reoccurring jokes about the invasiveness of Google Earth.
Are you posing? I don't have a photographer with me. Google Earth. Always taking pics. Let's move it out!
Then moving to the main arc about an internet startup company named Grizzle, technology in the show serves as the new architectural structure, which is always watching but never actually seen by the general public. The model which Foucault presents as the Panopticon is his idea of the perfect prison. It stipulates that the perfect prison would contain a large watchtower at the center of a group of prison cells. This means that the guards in the watchtower can see into the prison cell, but the prisoners cannot see into the watchtower. The way that Foucault words the power which the Panopticon has over people is that it is visible, meaning the inmate will constantly have before his eyes the tall outline of the central tower from which he is spied upon, as well as unverifiable, where the inmate must never know whether he is being looked at any one moment. But he must always be sure that he may always be so. The internet culture within the modern age perfectly encapsulates this idea. The idea that the government and tech companies like Apple and Google are always watching us is not a new idea. Within the universe of the show, the people of Pawnee know that the company of Grizzle exists within the confines of their town, and that they are data mining their branded cell phones. Parks and Rec explores this idea in the episode Grizzlebox, where one of the product developers actually says,
"As you know, the cameras on your phones are always on, whether you're using them or not."
I'm sorry, they are?
The 2 main characters look surprised and horrified as the developer carries on with how the phones are always watching. Like the Panopticon, the internet and the phone within this fictional town becomes the tower within the model of the prison. This is interesting as this sets up everyday people, or citizens of Pawnee, as prisoners. The position of the guards are given to the company executives at Grizzle. Foucault discusses this by citing how these modern prison tactics are also used in hospitals and schools. That's right, tell your high school self they were absolutely right to think high school was prison, and also tell them to lose the ironic t-shirts from Hot Topic.
What did you want to be when you were little? A scary mermaid that lures sailors to their death.
Foucault's theory extends beyond prisons and shows how to police morality within your community, which can perfectly be translated to the small community of Pawnee. However, within Parks and Rec, Grizzle isn't trying to police morality. They are trying to garner favor to give themselves more power.
And I hope that you can see now that there's nothing scary about Grizzle. I mean, we just want to learn everything about everyone and track them wherever they go and anticipate what they're about to do.
The Grizzle Company is actually using Foucault's theory of the Panopticon, not as a prison, but to achieve the same ends as the prison, to get people to fall in line with their ideas. The episode Grizzlebox deals with how the company is found to be data mining Pawnee citizens' emails and phones to court them into giving them the land to build their new offices. Leslie is surprised to see that the people of Pawnee are just as upset as she is about the blatant invasion of privacy.
You guys are not against us on this?
We're not against you on this.
We're not against you on this. We're not against you on this.
However, we must note that although the Pawnee citizens are disgusted by the use of their private information, more often than not, the citizens love what they've received.
This is actually Samuel L. Jackson from the movie Pork Fiction. It's extremely rare, and I am keeping it. But still, they have no right to give me something I will treasure the rest of my life.
This is where I feel that the show's engagement with this power struggle between the people and technology actually takes Foucault's argument a step further. Not only does the dependency that the people have on their technology create a whole other side to the psychological punishment that Foucault discusses, they love that technology.
I live for the grid. It's where I meet 40% of my jump offs.
And if you're off the grid, how are you gonna post photos of the dope food at restaurants you're at and all the cool places you're stunting in?
Food is for eating. Places are for being. End of discussion.
Prisoners feel uneasy and stressed from being under the watchful eye of the tower, but people within a community love being on their phones and laptops. They are dependent on the internet and their cell phones to the degree that there is no way to get out from under its watchful eye, even if they tried.
So it learns information about me? Seems like an invasion of privacy.
Dude, if you think that's bad, go to Google Earth and type in your address.
The fact that in the modern age we as a community feel that we cannot live without our technology because we would lose contact with everyone around us shows how much power technology has over us. It has become the new Panopticon, and now, instead of fearing it, we as a community live for it. So what's the lesson that Parks and Rec wants us to learn about the Panopticon and our wide dependence on technology? I believe that Ben sums it up best.
A person should not have to have an advanced law degree to avoid being taken advantage of by a multi-billion-dollar company. You should be upfront about what you're doing and allow people the ability to opt out.
Parks and Rec doesn't tell us to throw out our cell phones, or computers in Ron's case, but asks us to engage smartly with our technology and hold companies to a certain standard, in the same way that Parks and Rec encourages the average citizen to get involved with their local government and their government to serve their citizens. Parks and Rec refuses to be intimidated by the presence of the Panopticon and encourages those under its tower to grab a ladder.
No grid, no grid, no grid, no grid.
H4M, potato shape, coffee mug shape, smudge, smudge, middle finger, smudge. The rest are all smudges.
Oh my God, you drove us here.